With me here now is Bannister Kerry, Eamonn Fitzmaurice. Eamonn, we were just discussing there earlier, you've got a huge youthful element now in your team. Is that a bit of a risk?
I suppose with any team selection there's an element of risk to it. I think, to be fair to the lads, they have a good bit of experience of training with us for the last couple of summers, and they've been waiting for their chance. So they're lacking obviously experience of big championship games, but the only way you're going to get that is experience is by actually playing games, and thankfully the risk paid off the last day.
Do they feel the pressure differently to players who've had more experience, more miles on the clock?
I think definitely. I think as a more senior player or as an experienced player, there can be a bit of pressure going into the big games because you probably expect a bit more of yourself, and there might be a bit of expectancy within the group that you're going to lead, you're going to be one of the leaders on the team. Whereas I think when you come in as a young player, there's a carefree element to it, and that you're going to have a go, and if the worst comes to the worst, and you have a bad game, it's part of the learning process and you'll come back all the stronger for it. So I think a lot of the lads are in that mindset at the moment, that they're enjoying it, they're having a real go, and that's infectious for the whole group then as well.
You mentioned learning process there. I'm assuming after the exit last year at the hands of Mayo, there must have been some hard lessons there that Kerry took with you and that you were looking at and assessing and evaluating over the long winter. Yeah,
I think any game, any year, at the end of the year, you're going to have a look back and see the things that went well and didn't go so well. Obviously last year, because of the nature of the performance and the replay, there was a lot of hard questions being asked. We had to ask a lot of hard questions of ourselves and of the players. But look, that's a positive environment as you move forward, because there's growth, there's learning. You try to improve, you try to change things up. As poor as we were in that replay last year, we were very close to getting into the All-Ireland final the first day. While we still didn't have our A game, we almost beat a team that's been very, very close to winning an All-Ireland the last couple of years. So, while there was hard questions to be asked, we knew we weren't a million miles away if we could get ourselves right. So that's one of the big things, is that you just have to, regardless what preparation goes on in the background in preparation for a big game, you have to perform on the day. And we didn't perform the end of last August, but we're hoping for the Munster final now that there's a big performance in us again.
Something that has been much commented on is how the Kerry backline has gotten, I suppose, stronger or harder to penetrate. With people have been noticing how for the players like Tadhg Morley and Peter Crowley are able to, they're just having better performances. I assume the defensive thing was something that was worked upon?
It was, of course, and even during the league we didn't have the best of leagues defensively, so it's a work in progress. I think the thing is a work in progress, but I think oftentimes, and especially when you lose games, the backs can be hung out to dry, and that's probably speaking as a back myself, that it's a team defence, it's a team offence, and you have the ball. And sometimes as a team we haven't worked hard enough without the ball, and because of that then backs have been exposed, and they've often been scapegoats then, and I think oftentimes unfairly. So it's a team thing. We've been working on plenty of things over the last couple of weeks and since the end of the league.
Do you have any kind of internal worries yourself about perhaps becoming Kerry's scapegoat? Because this is Kerry. In other counties they'd be delighted to have an All-Ireland as recently as 2014, but here there's an expectation.
No, I think that comes with the territory. That's part of the gig. It's not. Look, I think when you're in this job, it's a huge privilege to be asked to do this job and to be entrusted with it. And while you're there, you give it everything you have. You do the best you can, and hopefully the results will come with that. If they don't, they don't. But I can certainly look in the mirror and say to myself that I'm giving it everything, and that if we come up short, then so be it. We'll live with that, and we'll move on, and we'll try and improve again.
There was a special Radio on the BoyleSports programme on, I was listening to on my way, and they were interviewing Mark O'Shea, and he said he expected the young ones especially to bring in some great performances, but this wouldn't be your year, it would be next year. What do you think of that?
That's I don't know how Mark came to that conclusion. Look, I think we're not looking at it as our year or next year or anything. We're only looking at the next game. It's a huge game for us, a Munster final above in Cork. We haven't been up there since 2014, so there's a lot of motivation for both teams. and we're not thinking about anything beyond that. I don't think you can. I think when you're on the outside looking in, it's easier to look at the overall picture or whatever. For us, it's about the Munster final against Cork. Go up and try and perform, see where that takes us, and after that, then we'll see where we are.
And finally, before I let you go, on a personal side, you've had some good news yourself. You're being promoted to Treasa in Pobblescott Cork. Will that give you more or less time to be focusing on the Kerry football team?
I don't think it will give me more time anyway. But look, I suppose I'm used to the challenge of balancing a full-time job and the Kerry role, and it is a balancing act, and you need a lot of help at home and you need a lot of support to be able to do it. So I've had that. With regard to more time, no, I wouldn't say so. The juggling and the balancing will just have to get a bit better, I'd say.
Well, the advantage is you're running nearly a creche for Kerry football back there.
That's true. Look, like I said, now it's a different position. It's a challenging position, and I'd be I suppose I have a good bit of experience at the Kerry role now at this stage, but I'd be very much a novice as a pre-vita, so I'll have plenty of work to do there.